Disclaimer.
History is not safe for work, and neither is HistoricHole.
This podcast is uncensored and contains explicit language.
Welcome to HistoricHole. My name is David, and as always, I am joined by Jason and Michael.
Howdy.
Howdy. And we here at HistoricHole, Historic Howdy, we take a funny look at history. Sometimes people, sometimes events, sometimes random other things. But today, I believe it's a person.
Yes, today we will be speaking of Attila the Hun.
We speak of.
We will be talking about him.
The winds carry his name.
And the wind cried Attila.
God, that took a while to get there. Wind cries.
But this man was feared by damn near everyone. He was known as the Scourge of God. Yes. Flagellum die, I do believe is how you say it in Latin. But anywho, before we get into him, let's travel like 200 years prior.
Previously on the world.
China, where we're in the Han Dynasty, I do believe, and they're constructing the Great Wall because you have barbarians coming from the north.
Han Khan.
And the Chinese allied themselves with one of the barbarians hordes that would become the Mongols and sort of forced this other group out of the area. The Xiongnu, I think they were pronounced.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we're going with Xiongnu.
We are.
Yes. And so the Xiongnu, like their homes have been destroyed. They have nowhere to go. So they start traveling west. Go down into...
That's what you do when your home's destroyed. You just go west.
Just go west. There might be gold.
Hopefully you're not in England.
So they travel down through the Middle East and come up around the Caspian Sea and settle in the Great Hungarian Plains, which I think is where they got the name Hun from. Hungarian.
Is that like conjecture on your part, or
Yes, that is complete conjecture on my part.
Is that our whole? It's like, you know why they were called the Huns?
HistoricHole.
Hungarian Great Plains.
The Great Hungarian Plains, where because they had that sort of barbarian background over in the steppes, the northern steppes.
Background barbarian.
In China, they were also very good at riding horses, archery. They also threw a lot of javelins.
Yes, that's what you have to do.
Yes.
We throw a javelin.
You have to make that noise.
Yeah, it really sucks for stealth purposes, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't make a noise, the javelin falls straight down. No matter how much force
It goes limp.
Yeah, it's weird.
So in the
Limp Javelin. Now, that's a band name.
yeah, that's folk. It's all folk music.
No, it's not.
Folk music.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
All right, yeah, whatever.
Mandolins.
It's Limp Javelin's world, and we're just living in it.
So Attila was, because the Huns didn't really keep any written records, being a nomadic people.
They just ate them. They were hungry.
Attila's birth is pretty obscure. It's somewhere between 395 AD and 406 AD.
There was probably just like lines of tents of just people, just babies being born, all the Mongols just raping and pillaging.
Oh no, we're Huns. We're Huns now.
Huns raping and pillaging.
Yes. Which I discovered upon research. I've just been misconstruing Genghis Khan and Attila the Hun all my life. Pretty much 2/3 of my life. I've gotten them confused with each other.
This episode's really about Jason, like finding out, like having an episphany about Attila the Hun and Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Because I thought,
Subplot.
Genghis Khan was more of the, sadistic murderer, but that was Attila the Hun. Genghis Khan actually had a vision for what he wanted, whereas Attila the Hun just wanted to kill people. Left and right, and he did. He did that. He did that. He did that
And that's
quite
exactly
well.
what he did.
Yeah, he did that quite well.
You know what? When you want to do something, if you put your mind to it or your javelin, you can do it left and right.
Raping and pillaging really is an art.
Yeah,
And when you see it done well,
yeah, you have to just
almost-
stand back and admire.
It's like a calligraphy of blood.
yeah,
It's fancy.
calligraphy of blood.
So
That's a good band.
That's
name.
a great
God
band.
damn.
You know what? Somebody
Slim
get
Javelin.
this.
That's Slim Javelin's first album. Calligraphy of blood.
Or maybe calligraphy.
but still folk music.
No, why is it going to be folk?
Because it's funny. So with no real records, it's hard to really gauge what he was doing with most of his life. Early childhood, I'm sure he was just running around riding horses. And
1 month old on a horse. All day in the rain.
most likely killing things as well.
Couldn't talk, but he could kill.
Yes. He's the pristine Hun baby. But anywho, when he was born, his uncles were the so-called kings of the Hun. They had sort of a co-rulership deal going on.
Ooh.
But then one of the
What did
uncles,
that involve?
Co-ed.
no, it's their two uncles. They would they just sort of split the kingdom, and then
Two uncles.
Yeah.
What does that sound
Yeah, I
like?
know, right? My two uncles, they're the kings.
Hey,
We're the queens.
we're the kings of the Huns.
Yeah, I'm sure they just wrote this down in history books. Just like, oh yeah, two uncles, great friends,
When his uncles died, Ruga died in 434. Him and his brother took rule, and they were co-ruling together. Him and his brother Bleda.
What's all these brothers and uncles and
Bleda.
Yeah, you always wanted to have sons on the steppe.
Bleda and Attila.
Yeah, ruling the Hun.
well, that's why Attila became way cooler because his name is way cooler than Bleda.
Well, also some things happened to him. So Attila's 28 at this time. If we're going by the 406 date, which we will for math's sake.
Let's just
Okay.
Let's plant
He's
a
around
flag.
that age.
We need to plant a flag here, folks.
Yes,
We need to
406.
Attila was born in 406. We know we were there.
We went back in
AD.
time
AD.
with our time machine.
Gotta stop bringing that up.
Why? And people have a right to know.
That Attila was born in 406.
AD.
Yes, AD.
We've cracked
Don't go to
the
406
space-time
BC. There's some crazy shit going on.
He is now, he's 28, and what he decides to do when he takes over is he wants to invade something. He marches west
Yeah, he marched.
into Europe, which pretty much sets up how Europe will be ethnically for the centuries to come, because no one would have moved had the Huns not decided to come through, because you had the Burgundians, Visigoths, Goths, all these different peoples,
Hot topic.
all these Germanic peoples who would have just stayed in like the Polish, Russian area, but because the Huns came through, they decided to
Move.
get the hell out of there.
It's like, well, that doesn't look good over there.
Oh, we're gonna go out west.
Appears they're raping and pillaging.
Yeah. So he decides to attack the Burgundians first.
Burgundy and gold. Wait.
And while fighting them, he encounters the Romans,
Oh.
They're still around.
and will be for a great long
Oh, I
time.
know.
At this time, though, the empire sort of split. There are two.
What's up, Roman?
There are two separate Roman governments, one in Byzantine or Constantinople.
Byzantium.
Yeah, the Byzantine Empire, and then the other half is in Milan.
Byzantium.
I've played Rome Total War.
Pure, unrefined Byzantium.
So
The kids are hooked on Byzantium.
How do you think they got that empire to like travel so vast? It's like they had like, something alien in nature at the core of Byzantium. It was called Byzantium.
the Romans had this sort of deal where their military
devil.
was not all that great anymore. So because they kept just paying barbarians as mercenaries. So when Attila went against the Burgundians the first time, this time around, the Romans were actually like helping him, like paying his bills and whatnot, just giving him gold for the general rape and pillage he was doing, because it was those people were attacking Rome as well. So it was like, oh, okay, enemy of my enemy is friend.
Why would anyone ever live in Rome? It seems like it's always being attacked.
So wait,
and sacked.
who was paying who here?
Rome was paying Attila to deal with the Burgundians.
Oh, okay, I see. So those
If
groups
you're going
were
to
all
be good at
attacking
something, you might as well
Rome.
get paid.
Yeah.
And so Rome was just paying Attila to attack.
Yeah, he's just like,
God.
yeah. Well, and then it actually
Chaos.
kind of fucked them up because all the Goths and Visigoths had to move west because of the Hun invasion. They ended up attacking Rome from different areas. Like the Visigoths eventually went down and captured Africa, like Roman
why not?
occupied Africa. Yes, why not?
It's quite a thing to do.
Got to conquer something.
Right, barbarians, man. That's what they do best.
Yeah. Background barbarian. That's what you do. That's all you have to put. And they're like, oh, yeah, this guy conquers Africa.
So after
To be a car salesman.
they pay Attila, and Attila starts to think, well, if they paid me, that means they probably have more. So why don't we just attack them now?
Me doth think.
He's the Joker.
Yeah, right. He's
like shooting
Pure chaos.
the bank robbers. Is what
He paid all the barbarians to kill all the other barbarians, and everyone
just
attack
starts
Rome
shooting
for
the
different-
barbarians. Yeah, killing the barbarians that he paid to kill the other
They're
barbarians.
throwing the limp javelins. He just comes up like a pistol. You know what's it's funny? The guy told me to get rid of the wait. Attila's there, all wearing Joker mask. No, Attila mask. I assume it was like the beard.
So that's like, it's double cross.
yeah. So he marches south through the Balkan Peninsula, through the Balkans, to Nicaeus, which is in modern day Serbia,
Quit balking around.
where he finds his first Roman settlement to sack. And yay!
Hey, how's it going, guys? You look quite intimidating.
And they had siege equipment. Like they battered the gates and walls down and massacred everyone.
Very jovially singing the whole time, though. Remember.
A happy Hun is a murdering Hun. A murdering Hun is a happy Hun.
I don't know. We'll have to work on that, but we'll figure that one out. Get back to us. To defeat the Huns.
The Eastern Empire is just like, okay, we're just going to give you some money. We'll pay you yearly. So they started giving him like 350 pounds of gold a year.
It's a shitty contract.
And he was just,
We'll just pay you not to hurt us.
yeah.
Protection money.
Yeah, exactly. And he was just, he just thought it was a gift. Like he
Give me your
didn't,
milk money.
he didn't know it was for like to not attack them.
Oh.
Like he was just,
Thanks for this money.
he was just accepting money. This 350 pounds of gold a year. So then eventually he's just like, well, that Roman settlement was pretty fun. And he was fucking around, just burning towns left and right. But the big jewel in the east would have been Constantinople. So it's like, guess where we're going next, boys?
To get the jewel.
That pure, unrefined
Byzantium.
Yeah. But Constantinople
always a
actually had
Constantinople as well. So, wait.
There's always a but.
Constantinople had a double wall. So
Double wall.
Whoa, double wall.
There might even be a triple wall.
well, they did have a moat, which could count as a wall.
Whoa! It's a moat. Double moat.
Double moat. Wow.
Oh my god.
So beautiful.
This is double wall. How are we gonna sack that?
So they're sieging
Hurry, Byzantium, boys!
They're sieging Constantinople.
Let the majesty of the double wall not fool you. There be Byzantium.
Attila the Hun is now Irish.
Attila the potato killer. Scourge of God.
Potato eater.
Sieging Constantinople.
Sieging Constantinople.
Sieging Constantinople. Update.
And
Constantinople still
That's a
being
good album. The next album, follow-up
My
album.
calligraphy of blood.
Follow-up album. Yeah.
Siege of Constantinople. Also folk. See, this one actually was folk. They took a turn. Folk metal. Fettle. Anyway.
But the emperor,
Yeah, stop. Shoot.
Grab that gun.
the emperor eventually decides to just pay them off again to leave them alone. This time it's a one lump sum of 6,000 pounds of gold.
Funk.
And then he ups the yearly
Bribe.
by 3. So he's now 2,100 pounds of gold yearly that Attila's getting paid. Yeah.
I need you to-
And then he just does this like around. He's just setting up a wonderful racket of just bribes and getting paid behind back doors.
So people's just thinking,
like
if
the
I
mafia.
just keep him happy with gold,
Yeah.
he won't hurt me.
Yeah. Exactly. And then he's just like, oh, okay,
See,
well, I'm
and
just going
this
to
is-
kill people over here then.
And this is why perfecting the art of raping and pillaging is a lucrative field to go into.
Industry.
Industry.
Throughout history.
Industry.
No one's done it in a while.
He's a titan of industry.
It's called R&P. Rape and pillage industries.
R&P, R&D.
So during the siege, though, they're obviously getting attacked by the, Romans inside of Constantinople on the double wall. So you actually had some of the Huns desert and go over to the Roman side. And after they
We're joining that army.
yeah. Well, I mean, they were mercenaries, so like
Yeah. Just
the Romans were,
Yeah, instead of throwing javelins, if the Romans
They're
start throwing
basically
gold. It's like, well, we're on your side now. They turn around and start stabbing the people right next to them.
They're basically, just waiting for Attila to turn around and start stabbing them, because he's a joker.
Who stabs the stabber?
when after the Romans surrendered, Attila's like, thanks. Now that we've had a nice, easy going time, all those guys who deserted, I want them back, please. Just send them on back.
Just send them on back.
Yeah, I'll deal with them. So they did, and he killed them all.
Yes, that's what we thought.
Oh, really?
That's what
I thought he gave them some ice cream and s'mores.
So he dealt with them, and they went on a great adventure. Candyland
The way he killed them, though, was
was with love.
ice cream and s'mores.
They all were diabetic.
he
He
shoved.
forgot to give them their insulin.
He took a post and sharpened one end,
God,
and
doesn't
then
sound like ice cream.
and then sat them on it up the bunghole.
Yes, we. God, thanks for, Mr. Yeah, it's like, well, we
So-
dealt
And
with
then
them.
it would eventually come out your sternum.
He would kebab them.
Excuse me.
Yeah. It would eventually go up your anus and come out your sternum, Michael.
Jason. It's same to you.
I would have never deserted Attila.
I wouldn't have been in the army. You're the one that's always wants to be with like these Asian raping and pillaging armies.
Pillaging.
Pillaging. I want to be somewhere where they're just drinking in Ireland.
So do the Irish potato famine next week,
Yes.
or the IRA, and Michael will have some fun.
Maybe not the IRA.
Oh, that
We'll have some fun with the IRA.
Why not the IRA? With Michael, sure.
right?
Why can't we talk about history? It's like, Irish blow people up.
It's true. Yeah, I wasn't saying they did it.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes, you are. You're trying to cover.
We're changing this episode. It's about the IRA.
Pivot. It's a pivot. He murdered his deserters.
Yes.
And then decided to go
With dessert.
to go back home.
That's why. Why do you think the term deserter came from?
There's dessert over there. Why would we stay
after,
here?
After they were returned, they were given dessert. HistoricHole.
He goes back home
Brownies.
and
Sweets.
S'mores and ice cream.
and chills out for a while.
S'mores are easy to make. That's
Mint
what-
chocolate chip. The green kind.
I
with the
assume these
dye.
guys are nomadic. They have fires around.
Yes.
S'mores are easy to make. You know,
Yes.
you got a fire.
You get a graham
It's like,
cracker.
instead of giving us gold, just give us 2,500 pounds of chocolate.
Give us some chocolate, some marshmallow.
Actually,
Put it on one of the siege machines.
their diet mostly consisted of semi-raw meat.
semi-raw meat. So medium rare.
Yeah.
A good medium rare
They
sear.
didn't. Well, they
Rare.
didn't use a fire to cook it. They put it in a pouch on their saddle, and then after a day's riding,
Really rare.
after a day's riding, it had tenderized. Some of the salt from the sweat of the horse had gotten into it, so the bacteria is kept away. And then they just ate that.
That's one way to eat beef jerky. I'll take the one out of the bag, not the one in the pouch inside of the horse.
Yeah.
I suppose there is a reason why there are no Hun-themed restaurants.
There's just horses running around in a circle.
Yeah, it's like there's no kids. It's just a horse in the kitchen.
It's just a clumping.
It's like a chef's hat on. You know?
Trying to put the tickets up, but he's got hooves. So
It's like shitting all over the place. It doesn't seem sanitary, folks. But it's authentic. It's authentic Hun cuisine.
Right.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I bet you.
Attila's
I would try
waiter.
it.
Who wants to invest?
It'd be like sushi.
Yeah, right?
Except
It'd
not
be
fish.
like sushi.
It's horse
Except
tenderized
prepared by a
beef.
horse.
It was actually probably horse meat too. I don't know how many cows were out there in the Great Hungarian Plains.
Oh, you know what? Because they probably ate them all.
So horse meat tenderized by a horse. Can I get you anything else?
It's like, so today our special is horse.
It's horse. What about tomorrow? Would you have any?
Which one of those horses?
It will most likely be this horse.
It's horse every day.
Hi, I'm Attila. I'll be your server today. Would you like some horse? Would you potentially like to try our nice appetizer, horse?
For lunch, we have lunch special is horse soup.
We even have the horseshoe in it as like a garnish on the side. His name was Bessie. It's fine. I know we gave him a cow name, but that's why we killed him.
Dude, horses have ridiculous names. Have you ever heard?
Yeah, like
the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, it's just like it's like here comes like my wife hates me on the left.
It's always something like that.
That's Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit. He's blind in one eye. Sorry.
That is the story of Seabiscuit. And let's pivot right now.
Seabiscuit the Hun.
In 445 AD, while on a hunting trip with his brother somehow died.
Oh, that's a likely story. He killed his brother. Historical.
Yeah.
He just somehow died.
Yeah, while hunting,
That was Attila saying. He just somehow
He came
died.
back to the village and he died.
He just died somehow. I don't know. I can't find his body either.
Wiping blood off his jacket.
Yeah, right.
So now Attila is the sole king of the Hungarian
Guess I'm just sole
Empire.
king now.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, it was funny.
What
He
a
was.
weird accident. He just somehow died, and now I'm the sole king.
It's funny. He was the
Weird.
only king, and he also was the soul king. His sultry Attila voice.
Soul king.
And he also sulked all the time. He was very sad. He was sulking. God.
Yeah, he was known as a stoic man, yeah. But he was good with kids.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. But you know what? He was good with kids. Would you like some horse, son? Tenderized it myself.
He tenderized the mean horse meat.
Well, now that he has complete control,
Like slapping the bag while he's riding the horse. Extra tenderized.
well, now that he has complete control, he decides to just start invading. Go attack some Roman settlements again.
It's my first
Why
decree.
not?
And at the Battle of Udis,
Who dis?
he gave them a
New phone.
a whooping.
New phone.
Battle of who dis?
New phone. Battle of Udis.
Shoot.
I'm about to. Do one more. I'll give you one more chance. One more like that. It's going down.
To the point where he gave him such a whooping, to the point where the Roman historians, where we get most of our information about Attila from, they grossly over-exaggerated his troop numbers to make their losses seem not that bad.
He had 1 billion.
They said he had 500,000 troops, and he most likely had about 85
85,000.
to their 120.
Embellishing numbers. Who would have thunk it?
Right? The people who write history, yeah.
You've heard the
In
phrase.
this case, the loser.
Yeah, the people who could actually write.
Wrote history. That's the way it should be. The winner's right. It's like, no, just whoever can. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, questionable abilities to write from the winners in some cases. So,
Unfortunately, the winners were just tenderizing horse meat.
And sort of at this point, he's been, just mucking about in the Eastern Empire because he had sort of had
in the war zone.
he sort of had an arrangement with Emperor Valentinian III of the Western Empire.
Sounds fun.
Until Valentinian's sister Honora, she was betrothed.
He had no honor.
She was betrothed to this 50-something-year-old senator, and she just didn't want to get married. So she actually sent Attila her engagement ring and a letter asking him to rescue her.
Huh.
And when Attila got the ring, he's like, "Oh, she's proposing."
Attila seems like he didn't understand half the shit that people sent him. It's like, here's all this gold not to invade you. Let's invade them. They probably have more gold. It's just like, save me. It's like, my new wife awaits. Invade them.
He couldn't read or write.
He just got a ring.
He just got things and made
a picture of
assumptions,
her. I'm sure
and
they
then
had
went and
cameras.
murdered and pillaged anyway. It didn't matter.
So what he thought when he got the ring was, yeah, he's about to get married, and the dowry
Shows up in a suit.
the dowry that he felt he deserved was the Western Empire. So he sent a letter back to Valentinian accepting
It was just a horse meat.
accepting the proposal. And
horse.
and saying, I expect to be, I'll be there in a couple months.
I expect to be paid in empire.
And I expect to be given what's owed. And he gets there, and Valentina's like, no, that wasn't the arrangement at all. Almost killed his sister, but his mom's like, yeah, let's not, do that. That's a little much. So he,
Don't kill your
At the
sister.
end of the day, we're family.
so he just exiled her.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
Yeah. But meanwhile,
Just
Attila,
send her to an island.
We don't exile enough anymore.
Yeah, exile really needs to become a thing again.
Yeah.
well, once we get these moon colonies up and running,
You're right. The possibilities.
Right.
and
Mars.
yeah. Get some
We
nice
gotta-
exile in that on Mars.
You know what? If we're going to test to get somebody to Mars,
They might
we
as
don't
well be
really
a
need,
good-
if we're going to exile them, like, hey, you know what? If it works, you get to live on Mars. If it doesn't, well, guess what? Thank you.
We've problem solved either way.
You'll go down in history. As the
On
first
this
person to
end.
die on the way to Mars, or you made it and died there. This isn't going to be like The Martian with Matt Damon.
But so, Valentinian dealt with his sister, exiled her, but Attila's on the way. Dun.
It's like,
I was like, I'm coming to get married.
it's like Jurassic Park. You just see the water.
Yeah, it's like, well, we
The army
exiled
of
her.
horses.
Honor her.
Just
Is that
stampeding
the sound-
horses
Is that the sound of fucking?
of 1,000,
It'd be
hundreds
funny,
of thousands of horses.
If all the horses were jumping, like not even galloping, boom, boom. It's like this is very inefficient. It's like we're trying to tenderize the horse on side of the horse.
You were really stuck on the horse tenderizing.
He's
It's like-
going to bring it back.
He wants to eat tenderized horse meat. I think that's what he's hungry.
Well, that's unsettling.
Hungry horse.
So he works his way through the middle of Europe, comes into France, where he suffers one of his major defeats, and then because the Romans were like, okay, took all the barbarians, got them in a room together, was like, all right, this guy just wants to kill us all. We can peacefully get along. This guy just wants to kill everything. So let's get rid of him, and then we can sort of work things out. And everyone was like, yeah, that's true. We are, on the western coast of Europe now when we used to live over there.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
How did we get here?
Remember when we started? We were all so full of hope and horse.
So they all banded
Now we're on the
together
western coast of Europe.
and defeated the Huns. He
To defeat.
travels back to the Great Hungarian Plains.
And we're back.
And in 453, he's celebrating a marriage to some woman he kidnapped from one of the Germanic
Kicking and
tribes.
screaming.
I think she might have been a Visigoth or something.
He's like, he just shows up and his like, you, wife.
Well, yeah, because he didn't get married, so he's got blue balls. He's running around the rest of Europe
sat
on
there
his
every
way
night,
home.
waiting for his empire and his wife.
Oh,
Holding the ring. I long to put this on you, Honora. Honora.
So he celebrates hard, as he always did, and anything he did, he just got really
Bunch of
drunk.
horses start going in a circle around a fire.
Ain't no party like a Hun party.
That's true. They guys got ridiculously drunk, and when his new
Did we conquer this country last night, man? I was drinking way too much.
when his wife woke up the next day, she found him dead.
Damn.
He had apparently a nosebleed and had choked on his own blood, and that's how
Calligraphy in blood.
and that's how he died. Just
Their new album.
Overnight.
Choke on your own blood.
Choke on blood.
yeah. Well, people
Hit single.
scientists believe that it was because of complications with his liver.
From all that horse.
From all
meat.
drinking on the horse meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the red meat. Yeah. All the red horse meat and drinking and nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Probably had some sort of venereal disease from all the raping.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
And that's a great way to end your story, too. Like, you get married, everything's looking up, you're drinking with your homies, and then you die.
And then, yeah, you just never wake up again.
Yeah, life's a bitch.
Especially if your name's Attila.
Oh, and
The Hun.
but so after, everyone found him, they put him inside 3 coffins, one made of gold, inside one made of bronze, inside one made of iron.
Triple coffin. Whoa. Because at first when you said 3, I'm like, did they cut him up? He would have wanted it this way.
And then
They tenderized him first. And then they put him
then they buried him,
with a horse.
and like Genghis Khan,
Live horse.
they murdered everyone involved.
God damn it.
So no one knows where his body is.
Wow.
There's something about the barbarians where they just never want their kings to be.
Exhumed. No, it
Exhumed.
makes sense because obviously that had happened so much back then. Grave robbers and all sorts of.
I wonder if someone have actually found these bodies. They just didn't tell anybody.
I mean, people is likely that people did find these bodies.
And they just
dug
put it
them up. They
somewhere
didn't
else,
know
yeah.
what they found.
Yeah.
They just didn't know what they found.
We won't know because they weren't the winners, so they didn't write it down.
Yeah. And then it got put on a boat somewhere, and then that boat sank, and it's at the bottom of
Yeah.
the ocean.
Attila's probably at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean somewhere, getting chewed on by some horrifying creature that we haven't even seen before. James Cameron will find it.
An anglerfish. Yeah.
Anglerfish the Hun.
The only thing that can defeat Attila is the anglerfish.
Beware.
Beware the anglerfish.
Well, so he died.
That's
and
the fourth.
it.
That's the 4th album. Beware the anglerfish.
Yeah, and then his sons tried to take over the empire, but they ended up squabbling with each other.
Of course. It's
And
always
it all
a
just went to
problem.
shit. So
of
the
lip
Hun Empire
chapters.
only lasted for about 40 years. And it completely changed Europe in that time because of the migration.
They burned hot
because,
and flash.
because he just was such an asshole that just couldn't help himself. Had to kill everybody. All right. Is that it for today?
Yes, it is.
That's it for today.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's Attila.
That's Attila.
And now it's time to Ashilla.
Shoot him. Shoot him. Ow, he shot us all. I was like, what? Oh, no. Don't look at me.
It's okay, buddy. I'm still alive.
It's not okay. Rhaegar's gone. It's time to Attila.
It's okay. Come back.
Chill.
Come back. Rhaegar, come back.
Rhaegar, come back. Rhaegar, come back. We didn't mean to shoot you down.
Hey, buddy.
He needs some aftercare after being shot.
All right, so we're going to get into the shill stuff now.
Chill. Where did Rhaegar come from?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Give us 5 stars on iTunes if we're worth it, even if we aren't. Just delude yourself into thinking we're good. That's always a healthy thing to do in life. If you're listening,
Hello.
but you like watching, then we are on YouTube now. That's a thing.
We make facial expressions,
Yes. And hand movements.
hand movements,
And I shoot people.
visual.
Visual gags.
Haha.
Haha.
And cat-like reflexes.
Follow us on social media like Instagram and Twitter. We also post the full episodes on Instagram as well, so you can check them out there. Like if you like, you just don't like watching.
give a heart.
It's
Like
fun.
if you like.
Heart.
Yeah, you can do that. Like, word of mouth is the best advertising. And, our statement of modernity for this week is going to be, what is it? I think I know what it is. Everyone hates you, including your mother.
It's true.
Life is full of holes. Enter wisely.
Bye.
And your father.